You know what I love about this? Jimmy Garoppolo is afforded guys that can run routes. And I get that from you and Mina last year about guys that can create space. Because that's where Jimmy Garoppolo has operated in this San Francisco offense based off Kyle Shanahan's ability to scheme people open, right? You think about Devontae, not only can he make contested catches, but what do we laud Devontae Adams for? His release at the line of scrimmage, his ability to separate. Jakobi Myers was a guy I started paying attention to last year because Dan and Mina talked about his ability to run routes at an elite level. Hunter Renfrow, another guy, create space out of the slot. Now, I don't know how that dynamic is going to work, D.O., but I think Jakobi could be a 2 opposite of Devontae because he commands that much attention and you can still leave Hunter Renfrow in the slot. I like this move for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think it affords him an ease of travel, which I think he needs, and we've seen him operate in that San Francisco offense.
Well, and this is an offense that wants to pound the football and run it a ton with Josh Jacobs. I started thinking about this. I expect Josh McDaniels to use Davante Adams the way he did for a long time Rob Gronkowski. We thought that was going to be Darren Waller, the move around chess piece, create matchups and space. I think he'll do it with Davante now. Davante's going to be the guy that maybe he puts Davante and now Jakobi Myers on the same side. I would expect soft coverage there. Jakobi is great at like 7-yard space routes, work off leverage, get the ball in my hands quick. And that's the difference, I would say, fundamentally between like Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo was Derek wants to push the ball downfield. Jimmy doesn't.
Yeah.
So now this is a more of a schematic fit to say, well, if we want to throw the ball downfield, we'll take shots with Davante. If not, we'll use the space that is created by Davante and the umbrella coverage. Now we have Jakobi and Hunter Renfrow with the quick passing game that's going to create those yards after the catch.
Yeah, the Raiders have been busy, Adam. They also made a trade. Darren Waller going to the New York Giants. Tell us more.
Well, I don't think it's coincidental that hours after they reach agreement with Jakobi Myers, they then go ahead and trade Darren Waller, because essentially I think the thinking there would be that they get a younger player who has twice as many catches the last 2 years as Darren Waller, who's a little bit cheaper, and they get a third-round pick back for Darren Waller. Now, Darren Waller, when he's on the field, is a beast. He's as talented as any tight end in the game, but he hasn't always been on the field, and the Giants are excited and thrilled to have somebody that good. I think the Raiders are essentially remaking a little bit of that roster, and so you bring in Jakobi Myers. They don't really have an established tight end on the roster right now. It's a draft deep in tight ends. Wouldn't be a surprise if they drafted 1 or 2 of them in the upcoming draft, maybe added another one in free agency here or there. But I think that they just figure, you know what, we could add Jakobi Myers with Davante Adams and somehow kind of make up for the production that we'll be missing without Darren Waller.
I think Foster Moreau could have some success in that offense.
Free agent.
Oh, in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. I want to spin it to the Giants a little bit with Darren Waller. I think that one thing that the past game or Daniel Jones in New York excelled at a little bit was throwing to tight ends. Daniel Bellinger was a really good draft pick for them last year. I start to think that Brian Daboll's going to go, okay, we're going to play in 12 personnel a ton. 1 back, 2 tight ends. Bellinger is probably better suited as a really good number 2 tight end. Darren Waller has to stay healthy. We're aware of that. But now you've got 2 tight ends that are mismatched pieces. You could dictate to the defense. We talk about that all the time. You're going to play with 5 defensive backs on the field or 4. This helps Saquon Barkley as well. It'll help players like Sterling Shepard. Like the receiving core would benefit from it. But I would expect that the Giants to play 12 personnel, 5th most in the league, top 5 in the league when it comes to their usage because of the addition of Waller.
Can I be very excited about this move? Because I think it's bigger than what we actually thinking right now. When you think about Brian Daboll and the way he creates, right? We sitting here a year removed from not knowing if Daniel Jones is going to be a starter to him at a 4-year, $160 million contract, right? And now you add a piece like Darren Waller, to your point, D.O., to create matchup nightmares, but also continue to build into that quarterback that you think took a step forward last year. And then his play calling ability, right? To find ways to get this guy in leverage, get him open.
How many times did we see them leak a tight end out into the flat for a touchdown?
Yes, man. And people forget too, like, when you start thinking about like all of this coming together, you coming off Las Vegas, Josh McDaniels' first year. All right, how do we gauge, right? We are impatient as NFL fans, and even in our business, we impatient. And Davis came out last year and said Josh McDaniels is going to be here. He ain't going nowhere because this was the plan. And then you think about Brian Daboll, who we all thought was a home run coach of the year. Now you add another piece for him to continue to progress his quarterback. I love this Darren Waller move. I hate it for the Cowboys, but I love it for the Giants.
Sorry about that. How about this? Daniel Jones, excellent targeting tight ends last season. He ranked top 5 in QBR, completion percentage, and first down rate. Makes a ton of sense for him to get a great tight end. We're just getting started here on NFL Live as free agency is in full swing. San Francisco's Sam Darnold, it's his time now as he heads there.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.